get in our big market voice for the day, and we have Vikas Khemani, founder of Carnelian Capital Advisors, joining in with his perspective on the markets. Vikas, it's great to have you on the show. With the new appointment of the RBI governor, do you think that this is what the markets and the economy needed at this point in time, given the uncertainties that loom with regards to global markets also trying to find their feet?
Absolutely. I think in last one and a half years, the government and RBI were kind of not coordinated. They were opposing views on many of the critical issues, and as a result of that, I think we saw banking sector, specifically the public sector, and economy in general suffering. Especially in a time of trouble, what you want is a coordinated action to kickstart, jumpstart economy, which was needed after Demon and GST, which did not happen. And on some of the issues like PCA, where banking sector had to come out, because today one of the biggest problem in the economy is that credit is almost dried. Industries are not getting enough credit access, especially MSME, and I think that has been creating a very big issue. So I think I'm assuming now, since the new RBI governor would be a lot more coordinated. I mean, does not mean that the RBI is not going to be independent, but what you need is a coordinated action by the regulator and the government to kind of jumpstart the economy. So in my opinion, some of the issues, touchy issues around NBFC, real estate as a sector, I think can be probably a lot better handled now, and at least there won't be any noise in the public around the relationship between RBI and government, and I think that itself is a calming and soothing effect for the markets. So to that extent, I see markets are kind of taking it positively, and it is a positive development.
Having said that, the other perhaps market positive news has been the Congress's 3-0 win in the key state elections. Does that put the spotlight on what happens over the course of the next 6 months in terms of the event risk that lies with the general elections in May of 2019?
But see, before that, I would want to tell you, I think just think about, take yourself a week back and assume that you were told, or you asked somebody that if there is a 3-0 outcome and RBI governor resigns, I think probably most experts would have predicted that there would be a big market fall and there will be big negative sell-off, whereas market reacted completely differently. It, in my opinion, clearly shows that there is a sort of a market has kind of got to the bottom, or kind of got to the resilience point. Typically how market reacts to a negative news flow also says the underlying strength of the market, whether it is weak or strong. So I do believe that yesterday's response was that market has got over with the uncertainty. Probably downside will be very limited from here. Especially yesterday there was a widespread participation from the mid-cap space. So I think markets are very light at this point in time. So this is the setup we are working on. Now look forward from here to now 6 months. I think from a general election perspective, uncertainty has become a lot more, I would say, rather than because of this development now, whether there will be what will be the response of the NDA versus how opposition would kind of galvanize against. Lots of noise and would be there all over. So that would be probably one uncertain point. Globally, still we are dealing with lots of uncertain events, while there is some calm settling slowly, but you can't really say that this is behind us. So the way I like to see that over next 3 to 6 months, market would be consolidated in a range which should be a narrow range, and probably volatile as well, because given the news flow which keeps on happening, even we have seen international markets being very, very volatile on one comment of either coming from the regulators or government overseas. And so we have seen this kind of, and I don't see that changing in a hurry. That kind of market scenario should continue over next 3 to 6 months. Having said that, the way I would like to deal with as a participant is that this is a time to build your portfolio to kind of because these are the uncertain times which are generally the best vintage for any investor from a 3 to 5 year perspective, because my belief in economic fundamentals of Indian economy remains. I think we have a good story whichever government comes in. I am not saying that only thing is you do not want a very, very unstable government, but as long as there is a stable government comes in, I think market would be fine.
Vikas, hi. I was just coming to that question because, volatility is something that we are bracing ourselves for over the next 6 to 8 months odd as well. The prudent strategy to navigate this kind of a market is something that I'd like to, know a bit in detail, and also which are the pockets, which are the themes that would be the best to look at, and the ones which would be the best to avoid given the uncertainties that one is grappled with right now.
So I think, especially in times like this, one should definitely stay away from short-term trading. One should definitely stay away from leverage because, and one should be prepared for whatever portfolio you're constructing, that if there is a 8 to 10% correction, you should not be able to panic or stop out. These are the broader general, approaches one should take. Within that, and from a thematic perspective, where to invest, the themes don't change much in my opinion. I think India's story remains broadly the way it is, of a consumption, of investment cycle and of export. So it's a very balanced economy, and we are seeing lots of interesting ideas in place in each of these themes. Financials have been a great theme for me, and I have continued to believe that that will deliver very well. And in this whatever volatility you were mentioning some time ago, that ICICI Bank has corrected. So I mean, if any correction you see, you will find lots of opportunities within private sector bank, some of the fee-based financial services plays, whether it is insurance company or a mutual fund. Those kind of plays would be very, very interesting to look at. Even NBFC sector, I believe, will do pretty well from a long-term perspective. So financial is one bucket one should look at it. And within consumption, I think I have seen lots of corrections happen in the discretionary consumer discretionary space, and I think the GST theme, unorganized to organized theme, continues to remain. Whichever government comes in, I don't think that is getting changed. So if that has to happen, I think that segment would continue to, so there are lots of segments, sectors and sub-sectors one can look at to benefit from the unorganized to organized theme, and that has legs over next 8-10 years. So I would continue to believe in that. And lastly, I would say that our current account deficit being what it is, we will always have a little bit of strain on the currency side with a depreciating bias. And given the fact where IT sector right now is, the developed markets are doing reasonably all right, demand is picking up, and with currency depreciating bias, I think that sector, especially the mid-cap IT sector, would I would believe that do well. So I think these are the 3-4 segments, sub-segments you should look at it. But India is a fairly wide market. There are lots of interesting ideas. Even within manufacturing sector, I feel one can do a lot. That segment is also a sunrise sector and picking up. So one has to look at what business model one wants to, what kind of risk profile you have, and what's the time horizon. Within that, these themes can be played.
And given the kind of situation that we're currently in with regard to the rupee and the kind of moves that it has seen in the recent past, how are you looking at the defensive space? What would be your view on that?
As I just mentioned, that I think IT is also offers one of the defensives. It's I think developed market focus. Secondly, currency gives a natural hedge. So I would like to keep some portion of the portfolio into IT sector, and I see demand environment on that segment continue to remain robust. Within pharma space, some of the there I think you have to be company specific, but the pharma space, I think there are interesting ideas which offers both defensive as well as growth opportunities in over next 3 to 5 years. So I think you should have some bit of defensive in the portfolio. There is no doubt on that.
Okay. Vikas, since you touched upon the financial sector, and you said, with the new appointment, you see a greater consensus building in terms of monetary policies versus, fiscal policy support being extended out to the space. Would that make the opportunity of investing in NBFCs more lucrative at this juncture? Do you think that that could be a trigger to look at that segment of the market more favorably?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that, of course, there was a bit of a challenge in the recent past, which is, I think, getting addressed, and that is going to get addressed slowly. It is not going to get addressed overnight. As I said earlier also, that NBFC definitely serves to market need, market purpose. NBFC model is not short. NBFC had a little bit of imbalance in terms of asset liability mismatch, which is getting corrected or got corrected in a significant way. Now I think you will start resume normalcy. I think most NBFC predicted a lower growth in current financial year. I think from next financial year onwards, we probably would see much better growth than what we will see this year, and that will start leading to again multiples re-rating, which got corrected in the recent past. So in that sense, I too feel that NBFC also offers a superior risk reward. One has to be careful in terms of what kind of management team you are choosing, what kind of business model you are going after. So all those things are given, but I think NBFC or NBFC or housing finance company as a segment, I do definitely like.
Typically when we get into an election year, you see the policy sensitive names getting more active. You've addressed what is likely to happen with the financial space, but some of the smaller pockets in fertilizers, sugar, these ailing sectors which generally get some push from the government in the run-up to elections, in the run-up to the budget, find favor at a time like this. Is there any theme, sub-theme so to speak, that you would want to be bullish on over the course of the next 6 months with those events lined up?
Very difficult to kind of think about that, to be very frank. And a lot depends on guessing what government will do, what kind of pain points will be there for the government. In general, one can say that government is likely to spend more on rural side. Government is likely to do something more about MSME, and in that segment, generally they will do. But I have no at this point in time thoughts that how one can play. And we have seen, take you back, and last time around when elections happened, fertilizer stocks went up and they did very well, and they are probably back to or much lower than what they were at that point in time. So I mean, these are the very, very, my investing, advisor style is very different. I mean, to stay more at a structural place, and if there are any turnaround plays, they have to be structural in nature, not really dependent on a particular dose of, government action for which is going to shortly for a short period of time. So I would recommend highly to avoid such kind of plays. Yeah.
Okay, you were just talking about consumption theme and how you're likely, one is likely to witness the benefit from unorganized to organized and uptick in consumption going forward in the run-up to elections and post that as well. But the fact of the matter is that when we look at the earnings, they've been rather mixed in the recent past, even for the FMCG space. And even if you look at the auto pack among the consumption subsector, even that has really not picked up. In fact, if at all, it has only slowed down. How do you then believe that the consumption is likely to go up? What are the kind of levers that you are betting on right now?
See, please understand, last 2 quarters have been very, very, very volatile. I mean, what we saw in September, October period, I think has not been witnessed by most businesses for long, long period of time, and most people in the economy, and that kind of created a shock value to the businesses and also consumers. And also the credit flow almost kind of stopped or slowed down significantly. This is bound to have impact on the sales numbers, as well as I think profitability. Profitability from a more point of view, volatility. Who has seen this kind of volatility? I mean, currency depreciating more than 20% in a month's time. Oil prices going up so significantly. If you are running a business, even if it is consumer, you can't pass on this kind of prices to consumer overnight. So I think you have to take some hit. So the point is that this kind of volatility has created impact on profitability as well as demand, and which might well last even this quarterly earnings. You might say, because this quarter is not yet over, and this quarter also we have seen quite a volatility. So I would say this will come slowly as volatility resides. We are not going to suddenly overnight see a change. Also, don't forget that whenever there is a big loss of wealth, due to market corrections, it impacts the consumption pattern of the Indian, any consumer, and I think that takes time to come back. So as I said, as this is not going to happen overnight, I am not saying next quarter you will have earnings coming back. What my point was that that in this period you will get some of these high quality businesses, including consumer businesses, because of this temporary impact at a reasonable valuation or a reasonable price than you would have otherwise got, which as and when the normalcy returns, which I am reasonably sure that second half of next year would return, that time you will start seeing demand picking up. This kind of volatility cannot continue forever, and as volatility subsides and settles down, you will see a slow and steady pickup, and which will create a long-term trend in your favor, which could last 3 to 4, 5 years. So that was the point I was trying to make.
Okay, point taken, Vikas, and it's a pleasure chatting with you as always. Thank you so much for coming on board and sharing your perspective on the various stocks and markets at large.